Friends, what I'm about to tell you might completely change your perspective on the most scandalous couple in the history of the British monarchy. Today, we'll finally reveal the truth about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, a truth so shocking that even Buckingham Palace is trying to hide it from the public. You thought you knew everything about their fairy tale love story? Forget it. Behind the beautiful facade of a Hollywood romance lies a cynical game, where the stakes are millions of dollars, the reputation of the royal family, and the future of the British monarchy itself. Officially confirmed, that family visit of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to Disneyland, which they portrayed as a touching celebration for little Lilibet, was actually a cynical paid deal. Yes, you heard right. The princess's lavish birthday was just a PR stunt and a commercial contract for their participation in an upcoming Hulu documentary. But that's just the beginning. This failed project is a screaming proof of how the once great Disney empire has completely lost its magic and plunged into the abyss of creative bankruptcy. Instead of celebrating the 70th anniversary of the legendary park with something truly magical, the creative geniuses from management decided, let's pay a bunch of celebrities to tell us how much fun they're having here. The couple, already nicknamed cosplay royals by the public, has visited the park a handful of times in their lives, always with VIP passes, bypassing all the queues. Their experience is not the experience of ordinary families who save for years to shell out thousands of dollars for a day in the happiest place on earth. Their experience is bought and paid for. It's sickening and hypocritical. The trailer for this documentary disgrace is full of shots with Jamie Lee Curtis, Neil Patrick Harris, and, of course, our heroes. But ask yourself, do you really care what Nick from How I Met Your Mother thinks about a ride? Modern media are completely out of touch with reality, continuing to believe that we still revere the opinions of celebrities. Times have changed. Disney, which was once synonymous with innovation and magic, is now only capable of endless remakes and destroying its own legacy. Look what they did to Splash Mountain. While current CEO Bob Iger is finishing off the company's soul, we are witnessing pathetic attempts to squeeze out nostalgia by hiring the most irrelevant celebrities. Where are the stories about the genius of Walt Disney? Where are the stories about how magic was created? No. Instead, we are shoved in the face of Harry, mumbling something about Space Mountain, which he has seen a couple of times. This film is the perfect symbol of Disney's decline, empty, meaningless, and expensive. Like Harry and Meghan's trip, which wasn't about their daughter, but about a check. The youngest grandson of Elizabeth II, Prince Harry, has never been an exemplary goody-two-shoes. While his older brother William fulfilled all the English traditions required of the future heir to the throne, Harry entertained himself and shocked the public with all sorts of wild antics. The public condemned the younger prince, but nevertheless, even rebelling in his youth, Harry remained a full-fledged member of the British royal family and was perceived as such by the British. However, everything changed after Harry married a divorced American actress, Meghan Markle. After marrying Meghan, Harry quickly transformed from a kind joker into a perpetually gloomy, dissatisfied whiner. And many in the world believe that Meghan Markle is to blame for this transformation. The actress, born and raised in the USA, according to fans of the royal family, immediately after meeting the prince began to exert the most serious and far from positive influence on him. Meghan herself, apparently, believes that she has only benefited her husband with this influence. After all, the Duchess taught Harry to tell the truth and opened up another world to him, a world without the conventions of the royal family and which the prince had previously been unfamiliar with. However, the benefit allegedly brought by Meghan to Harry is becoming more and more dubious over the years. Having married Meghan, the prince, in fact, lost everything. Harry broke off relations with his own family and became an extremely unpopular person in his homeland. The prince also suffered financially. As you know, having resigned from his royal powers, Harry lost the financial support of the British royal family. Under the influence of Meghan, the prince, as he himself admitted, wanted to gain, including financial independence. Meghan and Harry's plans were Napoleonic, but in the end, they were never implemented. The Duchess of Sussex always dreamed of becoming a billionaire, getting herself a private jet, etc. However, the only thing Meghan and Harry managed to earn after abdication was the sale of secrets of the royal family. All other projects on which the prince, among other things, spent the inheritance received after the death of Elizabeth II turned out to be insolvent. The Sussexes got into debt and can no longer afford to lead the luxurious life they were used to. Meghan and Harry's dream of wealth did not come true. Since the Sussexes' source of income, the conflict with the royal family, has dried up, they will soon become even poorer than they were when they lived in England. At the same time, Harry also lost the respect of the British and the love of his family. Against the background of all this, information began to appear on the network that Meghan and Harry may soon divorce, and the separation of the couple will be connected with financial difficulties. The only way to pay off debts and start living a life worthy of the highest aristocrat for Harry now is reconciliation with his family. However, it will be extremely difficult for the prince to do this. The English public may someday forgive him. After all, Harry is the son of the popular Princess Diana and the grandson of the beloved Elizabeth II. The British are forgiving towards members of the royal family, and perhaps, over time, they will forget about Harry's abdication and his betrayal of his family and his country. After all, this is exactly what happened, for example, with the wife of the current King of England, Camilla. As you know, the British did not just dislike her for a long time, but truly hated her. Nevertheless, now Camilla is a fully respected British queen. The same thing will most likely happen with Harry. However, the wife of the younger prince, Meghan Markle, the British will hardly ever forgive and accept. The same applies to members of the royal family. The soft-hearted Charles, who himself has repeatedly been involved in scandalous stories, may treat Meghan loyally. However, the future King of England and Harry's brother, William, is unlikely to accept the actress who angered him as a member of the family. William literally hates Meghan and doesn't want to hear anything about her. This is due to the fact that during her scandalous interview with a journalist, the Duchess of Sussex insulted William's wife, Kate Middleton, and slandered her. It is known that William's dislike for the Sussexes is so great that he considers reconciliation with his brother an empty and unnecessary matter. William calls Charles's attitude towards Harry too soft. There has also long been an opinion on the internet that, having ascended the throne, William, among other things, will deprive his brother and his wife of the title of dukes and their royal highnesses. This is due to the fact that, despite the promise, Meghan, having resigned from her royal powers, used her titles for commercial purposes several times. William didn't like this very much, and it became another reason why he no longer wants to know anything about his brother and his wife. The other day, as you know, for the first time in almost 2 years, Harry met with his father, King Charles, having flown to England. It is believed that the reason that the younger prince took a step towards reconciliation with relatives was precisely his financial problems. Charles accepted the disgraced Harry, but spoke with him for no more than an hour. What the conversation was about is not known for certain, but many believe that the meeting may still lead to the reunion of the prince with the British royal family. In this case, Harry will again begin to perform his royal duties and receive financial support from the British royal family, and Charles will again receive a spare prince for the monarchy. After all, if something happens to William after the death of the king, a succession crisis will immediately begin in England. The next king after William will be announced his son, Prince George. But since George is still young, he will definitely be chosen a regent. And the most logical candidate for this place will, of course, be Prince Harry. Harry, thus, may well return to England and resume his royal duties. Charles loves his son, and most likely, in the end, will forgive him. Perhaps, over time, Harry will receive forgiveness from William. After all, it is known that in childhood and youth the brothers were inseparable and loved each other very much. But for this, the prince will most likely have to divorce Meghan. The American woman who poured so much mud on the royal family and the whole of Britain, the British will not want to see in their country. The future King William will also not accept Meghan. It is known that the elder prince said in plain text that he would be able to forgive his brother and would not prevent his return to his homeland only if he broke up with Meghan. Thus, in order to regain what he loved since childhood, English friends, the usual British way of life, reputation, and the love of subjects, Harry must break up with his scandalous wife. Divorce of Harry and Meghan may seem impossible to someone, but in fact, this is not entirely true, and the unwillingness of the British and members of the royal family to see Meghan as their relative is not the only reason. Today, Harry and Meghan, as you know, lead a fairly closed lifestyle. Journalists do not have access to their private affairs. Even their own children, the Sussexes, practically do not show to the general public. Therefore, it is unknown how the family affairs of the disgraced prince are actually going now. Outwardly, the Sussexes are a happy family, where peace and mutual understanding reign, but it is unlikely that the relationship between Harry and Meghan has remained as cloudless as it was during their romance and in the first years of their life together. Financial problems, as you know, have not yet contributed to the strengthening of any family. In addition, despite the secrecy of the Sussexes, some cooling in their relationship has already become noticeable to the general public. For example, Harry is increasingly being seen during all sorts of business trips and events without Meghan. Of course, Meghan and Harry categorically deny the possibility of divorce. However, according to those around them, this is still not such an incredible development. Some people who knew the Sussexes well not only believe in their imminent breakup, but also have no doubt about it. For example, the former butler of Princess Diana, Paul Burrell, expressed the opinion that Harry and Meghan will inevitably part. According to Paul, Meghan and Harry will not be able to lead a long life together, and the reason lies in the difference in their mentalities. The prince was under the influence of his energetic and determined wife for a long time, but this influence is gradually waning. For example, according to Harry's behavior when he recently came to England, it is noticeable that he already misses his homeland, past popularity and British traditions. Perhaps there are still quarrels in the Sussexes' house now. Moreover, Harry and Meghan quarreled before. This was told, including by royal employees. For example, it is known that Harry and Meghan constantly quarreled during their famous tour of Australia in 2018. Harry was then unpleasantly struck by Meghan's excessive demands. The receiving party during that visit provided the Sussexes with a historic palace in 2 floors for accommodation. Meghan, however, was offended that she and Harry were allocated only the first floor of this building. Meghan considered it disrespectful that they were not given the entire palace at their disposal. This unpleasantly struck Harry, and the spouses quarreled. Conflicts between Harry and Meghan occurred for other reasons. For example, already in the USA, the Sussexes quarreled because Meghan posted a photo of her children, linking this picture with her cooking show. Harry considered it unacceptable for Meghan to use Archie and Lilibet for commercial advertising. Thus, due to financial problems and public rejection of the Duchess of Sussex, the marriage of Prince Harry may well collapse. Harry may want to return to England. Meghan, however, is unlikely to hold on to him too much. Many in England and in the world suspected from the very beginning that Meghan did not love Prince Harry at all. According to many Britons, the actress ensnared the prince only in order to become a popular and well-known person in the world. As you know, acting is not the only specialty that Meghan received in her youth. Initially, Markle was going to become not an actress, but a politician. For this, she even completed courses in international relations at a prestigious university. The future Duchess, meanwhile, interned at one of the U.S. embassies. It is believed that Meghan Markle could initially perceive Prince Harry, including as a stepping stone in her future political career. This is indirectly indicated, including by the very behavior of the Duchess after marriage. Being a smart and charming woman, Meghan, if she wanted to, could easily join the royal family. Her assurances that she could not stand constant publicity look like nothing more than excuses. If Meghan did not want publicity and was burdened by it, she would simply not have chosen the same acting path. Having entered the royal family, Meghan, as if on purpose, turned everyone against herself and provoked those around her to attack. Many therefore believed that the Duchess did not initially plan to join the British royal family, and knew in advance that she and Harry would sooner or later leave England and go to the USA. Some experts who have been analyzing the life of the royal family for many years believe that Meghan may well agree to a divorce from Harry and even initiate it herself. After the breakup, the already promoted Markle will begin to build a political career. For example, the Duchess may want to run for governor of the state of California or come up with something like that. On Meghan's website, as ever, an unprecedented attraction of generosity, the famous floral sprinkle can be, not anymore, ordered for free, paying only for delivery. There are several oddities about this Sunday sale. Neither the Duchess nor the official website advertised this promotion in any way. You could only find out about it directly when ordering, when, after typing in the product, a promotional code was automatically highlighted and the final amount was only for the delivery of the order. No one wrote about this strange sale anywhere. Even the Daily Mail, which records every sneeze from Montecito, analyzes the wedding and what Meg said, how she behaved for the 10th time, but here they missed such fun. Of course, the amazing generosity, when the goods are simply given away for free, caused a lot of new assumptions about the mystery. In the Duchess of Montecito's business, you could only order floral sprinkles, pancake mixes, cookies, and teas, which suggests concerns about expiration dates. After all, she announced her brand, then called ARO, at the beginning of last year. It's possible that the goods were ordered then, but the paperwork, registration, and re-registration unexpectedly not dragged on. The product is delicate with a limited shelf life, so they decided to quietly get rid of it. It's possible that this is a website error, as another organization manages the store. When purchasing on the site, there's a note stating that delivery is free for orders over $50, but it turned out that orders under $50 only pay for delivery. Whether it was a Sunday promotion or a programming error, it has already been corrected. It's interesting, of course, how much free stuff random lucky people manage to scoop up. It's unlikely they'll be able to cancel their orders now. Whatever number is on the price tag in any Sixth Sense store is what they should sell it for, and there would be too much negative press about the Duchess of Sussex defrauding customers, even if she's not involved. However, judging by the fact that only a small circle of internet users are aware of it, there don't seem to be many people willing to buy Meghan's products at any price.